Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha Television's new show In Depth. I'm your host Frank Pereira. Over the next half an hour, we'll try and educate you about what blockchain technology is and why is it important. So sit back and enjoy the show. Well, in recent times, bitcoins and similar cryptocurrency have become very popular. However, questions have been raised about how trustworthy are cryptocurrency transactions. The technology that drives the bitcoin is called blockchain. It's considered a revolutionary invention of modern times. Blockchains are a virtual ledger that connect all information from the first step of a transaction to the very last one, thereby creating a chain of blocks of information.
Blockchain, a digital technology aimed at decentralizing trade. The technology that is behind Bitcoin, the digital cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is a network of computers that all have the same history of transactions. So a transaction between two individuals gets recorded as blocks in this network of computers held by multiple people at the same time. Every 10 minutes of transaction becomes one block. Instead of one company holding an entire database of information regarding a transaction, this information is distributed among multiple people equally. The transaction is validated by each of these multiple people and is constantly updated. You can add to the information in the block, but you cannot alter it. This means there is a clear history of any transaction on this network. There is an interface like an app or a computer for you to use the technology, but instead of a company in the middle, there is a bunch of software codes helping you make the transaction.
Blockchain is a newly emerging technology that promises to be a game changer. This technology is based on a distributed ledger system. In fact, it goes on the basic premise that a record is going to be maintained simultaneously in different blocks located on different computers across the world.
The technology uses cryptography that helps encode all transactions. So people on the network cannot see exactly what happened, but they know it happened more like a marker. The first work on a cryptographically secure chain of blocks was described in 1991 by Stuart Haber and W. Scott Stornetter. In 1992, Bayer, Haber and Stornetter incorporated Merkle trees to the design, which improved its efficiency by allowing several documents to be collected into one block. The first blockchain was conceptualized by a person or a group of people known as Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008. It was implemented the following year by Nakamoto as a core component of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. In 2016, the Central Securities Depository of the Russian Federation announced a pilot project based on the technology that would explore the use of blockchain-based automated voting systems.
Blockchain is a linked transaction in a distributed network. Now, this is totally new technology. New York Times has called it a technology which is changing the whole ecosystem. Now, Indian government, central bank, they have also now awakened and they are taking different steps for research and utilization of this new technology in the different areas of society and economy.
The use of internet and digital technology has changed the way we transact or exchange information. However, there are several questions that arise. When did the digital transaction take place? How did it take place? Who made the transaction? Was it a valid transaction or not? The security of the transaction and the legal validity of those involved in transacting. How can all this be verified? Blockchain technology could be an answer to all this.
Today, blockchain has got numerous applications. We have seen now emerging applications in the area of banking, financial services, insurance, electronic governance, electronic storage, cyber security, you name it and they like it. So the question is, very quickly, blockchain will completely transform the way nations, entities actually start working in doing their day-to-day operations.
This is on the lines of Wikipedia, where no one contributor or information provided by any one person is the basis, nor is it controlled by any individual. All users who have the permission to append information can contribute. However, Wikipedia controls the central server and database. With inputs from Leena Sharma, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, blockchain technology operates against the backdrop of a vast horizon. It can be used in financial systems, education, real estate and healthcare sectors. Due to its transparency, it can also play a bigger role in ending corruption. Our next report will give you an idea about the wide possibilities of this global online database.
The exciting world of blockchain technology is throwing up multiple possibilities to expand its use in other areas of our lives. The technology offers solution for more secure and confidential communication of cryptocurrency. It helps banks to ensure safe, cost-effective and fast transactions. In addition to financial transactions, the technology can be used to secure legal documents, health data, notaries and personal documents. This technique will facilitate the delivery of subsidy, distribution of land records and government financial assistance. The technique can also be used in cloud storage, digital identification, smart communication and digital voting.
We are now beginning to see various applications of blockchains in different areas of human activities. So South Korea has clearly demonstrated how blockchain can be used for electronic governance, further for keeping up electronic health records, land records, electronic storage, banking, finance, insurance. There are a variety of these new areas which are now going to see new path-making applications of blockchain as a technology.
Blockchains are essentially databases that provide proof of who owns what at any given moment and an immutable record of all transactions. It is, in other words, a distributed ledger. Many such ideas and plans, which were not considered effective due to structural deficiencies, high cost, centralization and slow network, are made easier and transparent by blockchain technology. Property dealers in some countries use the platform to rent commercial properties. Several universities that use cloud hosting platform are using this technique as an educational tool. The technology is also providing transparent and secure platforms to students, teachers and companies in countries like America.
In the latest budget, government has discussed about this blockchain. Currently, Union Minister Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has said that a new center will be established in Gurugram about this research of this blockchain. Now, Niti Aayog has also said that uses of blockchain may help in the agriculture and farmer sectors. There are many other sectors are there like health sector, education sector, any other sector where the chain of events is there. So there this technology can be useful.
Companies associated with the finance sector are rapidly using blockchain technology. Fintech companies are using this platform for all financial services. The technology has made it easier for finance companies to grant loans and provide insurance. The key breakthrough of blockchain technology is its ability to establish trust in a decentralized system and provide transparency. Blockchain technology has a lot to offer, but its drawbacks also need to be kept in mind. For instance, when it comes to personal information that is also available publicly, the use of blockchain is not advised. With Leena Sharma, Zaigam Murtaza's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, blockchain is not a currency but an advanced technology that facilitates the use of cryptocurrency. It is not possible to use virtual currency without blockchain. While it has become one of the buzzwords in modern-day financial transactions, how exactly does a blockchain work? Let's find out.
When you visit a store, you pay cash over the counter to make a purchase. But when you buy something online, a mediator has to facilitate your transaction, which is what a digital wallet like Paytm does. Similarly, your bank acts as a facilitator when you transfer money to other bank accounts and maintains a ledger for you. In this sense, blockchain is a virtual ledger, but the technology eliminates the role of banks or facilitators and allows direct transactions between peer-to-peer or person-to-person.
In blockchain, there is no central server. There is no central point from which A communicates with a central point and this central point communicates with B. A and B and C and D and all the users are at the same level. They communicate with each other freely. Any change which one user does immediately gets reflected on all the other users, and every single user owns the entire data set. So it's a very democratic system. Everybody owns data equally and everybody has equal rights on that data.
Blockchain essentially is a ledger or a database that is held and updated independently by each participant or node in a large network. While paper-based ledgers are maintained only by the bank, blockchain allows data to be distributed across the world via a network of private computers that are both storing data and executing computations. But any transaction is possible only when the participants or nodes associated with a blockchain permits them to do so. In this way, the information remains confidential even when it is public for everyone. Let's further simplify the concept. Let's assume a trader, Ram, wants to send money to Shyam in the same group via cryptocurrency. For this, Ram and Shyam will become participants or nodes in the network. The transaction made to Shyam will be registered in the transaction block and will be broadcast to other traders in the group. To make the transaction authentic, the traders will approve it. After verification, the information will be recorded in the block forever. Further, this block will connect with other blocks, making it a blockchain. Shyam will get the money sent from Ram after he joins the blockchain.
In the future, the applications of this particular way of thinking and this particular technology is going to be immense. And one has to think beyond just the obvious one, which is the financial currency system, the cryptocurrency, which became a talk of the town with Bitcoin rising back and forth. But it is much wider. I mean, to me, financial system like cryptocurrency is only 10% of the application. The real 90% application of blockchain is in everything which we deal with.
To complete the transaction, it is very important to resolve the blocks. This is a complex mathematical system in which millions of calculations are made per second to validate it, only after which the transaction is confirmed, which is also why blockchains are considered very safe. There are many websites like blockchain.info where you can connect with blockchain and generate your virtual wallet. The amount transferred will be in your virtual wallet, for which you will have to generate an address. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, digital transactions have increased manyfold in India. This is seen as a big push towards digital revolution, which, advantageous as it is, has a downside as well. Rising online transactions have resulted in a steady increase in online cheating and fraud cases, especially after demonetization. To check this, the government is advocating the blockchain technology, which is being seen as the future of digital transactions. Let's find out how this works.
In its march towards a less cash economy, the government has been pushing digital payments, especially after its demonetization move in 2016. At the same time, it has clearly come down on the use of cryptocurrencies, given their potential for use in money laundering and terrorist financing. The government plans to use blockchain technology to curb the use of cryptocurrencies. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says blockchain technology will give a fillip to digital payments as well as ensure greater security.
Like other central banks in world, RBI has also taken steps and they issued a white paper in 2017. And they talked about this blockchain, and it is said in the white paper that it may ultimately lead to many challenges as well as help in the financial transactions, and finally it may lead to digital currency era.
A digital transformation is taking place in the financial services industry across the world. India is still lagging behind due to issues like cybersecurity and the need for stringent laws to check cybercrimes. Due to these reasons, India has the second highest risk of digital fraud in the Asia-Pacific region, behind Indonesia. A study by credit information company Experian and International Data Corp says that almost half of the consumers in India have directly or indirectly experienced retail fraud.
बहुत सारी हैं, अमेरिका से लेकर के इंडिया तक, मलेशिया तक, हर प्रकार की सरकारें इस समस्या और इस अपॉर्चुनिटी दोनों को देख रही हैं, और इसको रेगुलेट करने के लिए क्या किया जाए इसके बारे में बहुत सारी कमेटीज़ लगभग सारी मेजर इकोनॉमीज़ ने बनाई हैं, भारत इंक्लूडेड। थोड़ी सी एक मूलभूत डिफ़िकल्टी होगी, क्योंकि ब्लॉक से जो करेंसी छपती है, जो रुपए का नोट छपता है, वो एक जगह छपता है और एक संस्था द्वारा नियंत्रित होता है। सबको पता होता है कि कितना नोट छप रहा है और कहाँ छप रहा है, ठीक है, और नकली नोट है तो तुरंत पता लग जाता है। लेकिन ब्लॉकचेन ऐसी चीज़ है, ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से जो बिटकॉइन आएगा वो ऐसी चीज़ है जो कहीं भी बन सकता है।
Prevailing cyber laws in India touch almost all aspects of transactions and activities involving the Internet, World Wide Web, and cyberspace. In the year 2000, the IT Act was formulated to provide a legal framework which accorded legal sanctity to all electronic records and activities carried out by electronic means. Through this act, amendments were made to the Indian Penal Code 1860, the Indian Evidence Act 1872, the Bankers Books Evidence Act 1891, and the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 to bring them in line with the provisions of the IT Act. The Information Technology Act of 2000 was amended through the Information Technology Amendment Act of 2008 in order to provide additional focus on information security. It also added several new sections on offences including cyber terrorism and data protection. Cases relating to offences on creating false electronic records with the intent to commit fraud, damage or injury were brought under the ambit of Section 463 of the Indian Penal Code. Incidents of cyber fraud and cheating were brought under Section 420, webjacking under Section 383 and email abuse under Section 500 of the IPC. However, in today's techno-savvy environment, the world is becoming more and more digitally sophisticated, and so are the crimes, which is where Indian cyber laws lack the bite.
Today, blockchain has got numerous applications. We have seen now emerging applications in the area of banking, financial services, insurance, electronic governance, electronic storage, cyber security, you name it and they like it. So the question is, very quickly, blockchain will completely transform the way nations, entities actually start working in doing their day-to-day operations.
Online banking transactions can go wrong because of several reasons. In a majority of them, the customers are not at fault. Debit cards and bank accounts can easily be hacked. Deductions in amount can also happen despite actual cash transfers taking place. What's worrying is that despite the cash trail, it's difficult to catch the offenders. Blockchain technology seems to be one effective solution to this problem. In this, every transaction detail is recorded in a block and then chains comprising every single detail of each transaction. But it's important to make this technology legal. Also, it's necessary to map the entire scope of errors in totality. With input from Leena Sharma, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, India is predominantly a cash-based economy. Infrastructure and payment systems in India have been largely fashioned around the concept of cash transactions. But in the last 2 decades, there has been a revolutionary change in the way we do financial transactions. The internet superconnectivity opened up various opportunities for the use of new technology in financial services. Like other countries, India too is moving towards a cashless economy, an area that block technology finds many applications in.
We are living in the age of technological revolution, a period in history when every set of technologies is being replaced by another better technology, an era of an accelerated technological progress dominated not only by new innovations but also their application and diffusion. biotechnology and genetics in the field of medicine, robotics and artificial intelligence, and e-commerce and economy have dramatically changed conventional methods of working. The financial services industry has been at the forefront of the technological revolution. In the last 2 decades, there have been revolutionary changes in the way we do financial transactions. Digitization is a multiplying force in India right now. From automation and electronic user devices like ATMs, online banking and electronic payments, use of debit and credit cards, mobile wallets, mobile apps, electronic clearing services, national electronic fund transfer, immediate payment services, the financial sector has stayed ahead of the digital curve, benefiting both consumers and corporates alike.
I think blockchain provides a completely different model than the traditional model of banking, where you have a central regulator which regulates the various banks. Now with the distributed ledger system being made available at very less cost, it's going to completely change the way people will be making payments over a period of time. People would be storing their electronic records, and more significantly, people would be relying upon peer-to-peer transactions without having in place a specific intermediaries. So this technology is going to dispense to a large extent with the massive role that intermediaries are playing as data repositories, and will increasingly encourage more peer-to-peer contacts.
And this is just the beginning, as the government is determined to further push digital transactions in the country. The steps taken in the recent past, like demonetization, implementation of GST and e-way bill, are aimed at reducing cash transactions. But why go digital? The most important advantage of digital transaction is, of course, that it is time-saving and cost-effective. The second obvious use is the ease of conducting financial transactions. Further, digital transactions improve tracking capabilities that helps reduce error. Not only at an individual level, but there is also less flow of cash in the economy. Digitization also helps in tax compliance. When transactions are made digitally, they can easily be monitored. Thus, the government can effectively check the black economy.
This is totally new technology. New York Times has called it a technology which is changing the whole ecosystem. Now, Indian government, central bank, they have also now awakened, and they are taking different steps for research and utilization of this new technology in the different areas of society and economy.
There are close to 90 crore mobile phone users in the country, and internet penetration is also witnessing a surge. This has allowed the government to repeatedly stress the importance of using mobile banking while urging people to use their mobile phones for banking purposes. Not just that, government is promoting the benefits of cashless economy in a comprehensive manner through Kisan credit cards, Bhim app and RuPay cards. All these steps are intended to not only increase transparency in governance, but will also put India at par with other global economies that are surging ahead on the path of digitization. Such steps can be seen as building blocks to fulfill the government's aim to grow India's digital economy to $1 trillion by 2022, which is where the new technologies like blockchain will complete the digitization push for India. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of In Depth, but we'll be back again same time tomorrow with a detailed focus on a new topic. Until then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.